And hello everybody and welcome back to another ERO race. We are here today for the last race at this track for this weekend. And we're here at Spa in the beautiful Belgium for the Belgian Grand Prix in PlayStation F1. Today it will only be myself, Cameron Don, the F5 commentator, coordinator, and also the F1 commentator. And like I said, I will be alone today. So looking forward to doing a little bit of solo commentary for the good old F1. Um, as a bit of news within F1, it's not the news which we really want to hear. Two drivers. Now, I'm not just saying like these two drivers are like any old drivers. These drivers are at the top of the standings, and they have said, "We quit." Alright, I'm maybe doing a bit of an over-exaggeration there. AXA, Aurelian the Primo, last season's champion, Season 8 Ero PlayStation F1 champion, has called it quits for this season and also called it quits for the game. He will not be doing much league racing left on this F1 game. The only thing he says he'll be doing is a thing set up in WOR for people to practice for challengers, since AXA has made it into challengers as a full-time driver. So he will no longer be racing in Ero. And as we watch Aurelian's French teammate Enzo starting a lap, as I talk about the other driver as well, who has also said that he is retiring, however, is here today to actually do his last race, and that is Jerome. Yes, Jerome, P3 in the standings right now, I believe, is also retiring. So P1 and P3 are retiring from F1 as we just hit the halfway mark through the season. They are, well, they're not leaving the league as Enzo has invalidated, so there is a Mercedes of Sniper behind, who we're going to ride on board with. But yeah, as I said, as Julian Jansen has done his outlap, he is a qualifying ban, so he will be starting from the back today, as he's retired in the pits. Very nice from him. But like I was saying, Aurelian and Jerome are both retiring. Aurelian's not doing much league racing on this game anymore. Jerome is retiring now because he is focusing on exams coming up in school. Funny thing, I should probably be doing the same, but am I? No. I'm going to probably continue a bit of league racing. It'll be something to distract myself from, the stress and stuff of school, I guess you could say. But Sniper is going to be the first person to set a lap time around the last corner, turn 19 I believe it is, and across the line it's going to be a 43.2, a very, very nice lap time from him for a banker. It's a really nice time actually. As I personally think not many people are going to go faster than that. Tam Tam has spun. We just caught that. Vespa goes P2, now P3 is Demangle, Seb Demangle, 42.9, and an R10 of 42.7. Wow. Okay. Wow. Did not expect that. As of course Artem's an F2 driver, racing again this weekend. of course, P2 in qualifying in Britain last week, and finished P3 in the sprint race, I believe, and then unluckily got spun in the race and DNF'd. As Tam Tam, of course, spun on that lap. I think he'll maybe do another one now. 56.4, of course, will improve. As that is rotation of 43.2. 3,000th behind Sniper. Liam sits at 43.7, the F2 driver. Actually, quite a few F2 drivers here today, I should say. Like I said, Artem is here, Liam is here, and Otto, or Snoken, is also here as well. So 3 F2 drivers stepping up to fill the grid a bit more. As that was Boom Pitcher 54.9. That is Pangray as well, 43.9, P6. So, still, quite a few drivers to come across the line. Jensen, potentially? Is he on the lap? I can't tell. No, he's invalidated, but he's still going full speed. Drivers might think he's on a lap when he's not. Look at him all pulling to the side when he's not on a lap. And then he goes. The brilliant troll. But this is going to leave the championship. I mean, there's really only one person who could really win the championship now, if you really think about it, and that is Jensen. But you have to say this: the gap between AXA and Sniper, when I look at it, because currently, if you forget, I mean, I'm not saying forget about Aurelian and Jerome, but if you were to just get rid of them in the standings as an example, it would be Jensen. It would be a 1-2 Mercedes, which is quite funny. Of course, we can look at like Enzo would be P3, Panos would be P4, Alessandro Zanetti would be P5, Mikael Sorensen would be P6, Demango would be P7, Lars would be P8, Rotation would be P9, and Nathan Booth would be P10. If you were to forget about Aurelian and Joan, but as I just said, you can't forget about them. It's not possible to. After, they're P1 and P3 in the standings, you aren't able to forget about them. As Tam Tam 43.8 will go P6 provisionally. But yeah, it's quite interesting just hearing about that news, because personally I did not see that coming. But I do understand that the state of the F1 league racing scene is very bad right now. It's not great at all. So I do understand that maybe it is not the greatest, and that is why these drivers, I mean, I originally thought that might be why the drivers are leaving, as we're right on board with Otto, or Snucken, some might call him, as he is invalidated. Little curse. Jeroen is behind Jeroen Visse. Last race in Ero for this season, by the looks of things right now, as he says. We'll practice exams and everything, so he says let's finish it on a high. So might look to become the 4th different race winner this season. As the wow, don't know how we not invalidated there. But the races this season have only been won by either Aurelian, Jensen, or Enzo, who won in Spain for that one time. So, I mean, we can wait and see if Jeroen can maybe take a win on his last race in Ero, at least for this season. He says he's just had a moment out of the last corner, but goes about 4 and a bit tenths clear of Artem. Wow, that is a time. Jensen, I think, is on a lap. Right? Jensen's on a lap. We'll ride on board with him, and actually, we'll get the track map up as well, as he comes up to turn 5, I believe this is, and then round turn 6, the left-hander, and into turn 7. does it quite nicely. It will be interesting to see what wings all these drivers are running as he comes around turn 8 in 5th gear, which is the right choice in my opinion, and round turn 9. Then we'll go down to 10 and 11, down to 7th gear. Don't want to be going too wide or else it will be invalidating. Sticking to the inside for turn 11. Into turn 12 and 13, you can ride that curb, but sometimes don't. You ride this one though around turn 13, but be careful on the acceleration. Then turn 14 down into 5th gear. Well, a little bit of a snap there, but it's not too much to cost him time. He went around turn 15 there, and then you have turn 16 and turn 17, and into the last two corners, turn 18 and turn 19, down into 4th gear, round the last corner, open up the DRS just before the line. What is it going to be for Jensen? It will be a 42.5, it will put in P2. I imagine they'll probably will improve again on his lap time as R10 is purple sector 1. He is nearly 2 tenths up on his time. So we will see what he can do as Ken has retired. Ken! What did you do? Where'd you bend it? Where? Jensen, right on board with oh, the card disappears. I hate that. But Ken bends it, and we are no longer going to see where he is as his teammate Zanetti has came across the line and has went P5 with a 42.9. Right on board with Artem still. Whoa! And he's around. He was 2 tenths up. Could have possibly beat Jensen. But sadly spun. So that will be a failed lap attempt. Probably go into the pits now and put on a new set of tyres. As the Mangle didn't see that one. P4 with a 42.7, and also Mikael Sorensen just came across the line with a 42.8, and Rotation came across the line with a 42.8. Another driver want to, repeat, or is it Pangri starting a lap? It's him starting a lap. I was about to say we could have, a double. But now this whole retiring thing, like I was saying before, I don't know what to fully have my opinions on it because, like I said, the F1 game is in a horrible state right now. But I didn't think the top drivers were going to really be leaving. I did not expect that. So when I saw Aurelian saying that I will no longer be racing in Ero and probably the game, I was like, whoa. And then Jerome said, like half an hour after Aurelian, this will also be my last race. I'm going to be focusing on exams and stuff. So just seeing two of the top three drivers just leaving like that. I mean, Jerome is racing today, which hopefully can maybe take the win. As Tam Tam has went P10, 42.3. Like I say, and seeing Jerome just say, like, at least, I mean, I'm not saying any hate to Urelian or anything, but he's actually here to complete a final race. He's here to try take a win and try have a happy end. No, that's not even a happy ending because he says he'll probably be back next season. So I don't want to make it sound like this is his last race in ERO forever because it's not. Unless he decides to leave. I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't. He said he hasn't. He isn't going to leave. But who knows, to be honest. As it is getting maybe a little cloudy. It's getting a bit dark in some patches on the track. But I wouldn't say it's anything to worry about, as most of the drivers now are in the pit lane and will be changing their tyres coming out for the final lap in qualifying. As Liam right now is sitting in P11. Who else is Sniper has came out? Tam Tam is rushing to the line, or yeah, rushing to the pits because I don't think he will be able to come out again. It will be very, very close. As Enzo not set a lap time yet, is out of the pits now to try set a lap time on his one and only run in qualifying. So, I would prefer stick it, get maybe like a get like a 43 and go P8, make it safe, rather than starting P14. And that's the strategy, I think. You take it safe a little bit. As Liam is on a lap, we'll ride on board with him and see what he can do. Like I said, F2 driver finished P10 in F2 yesterday, but was going to be helping Ken, I believe, in the engineering booth, but then just stepped in the Alfa Romeo, which, I mean, fair play, neither of the Alfa Romeos who were supposed to be here are here today, so, he can step in all he likes, as he is about a half a tenth down on his current lap time, coming through turn 8. He's in 4th gear, like I would sometimes do, stays in 5th, runs it a bit wide, doesn't invalidate. Wow, that's interesting. Anyway, turn 10, turn 11, that's... and he backs off, okay. That was interesting. A few racing lines there, quite nice to see. Jokingly, I'm saying that. Anyway, Jensen, starting lap time now. We'll ride on board with Jensen. Then we'll go to R10, and then we will go to Jerome, as Jerome's quite a bit behind on an outlap. So, yeah, we'll ride on board with Jensen, see him complete his lap. We'll then go with R10, see him complete his lap, and then we'll ride on board with Jerome until the end of qualifying. Of course, maybe ride on board with a few other drivers who may appear within like the top 4 or 5 positions potentially if they can get into the 42.7s, maybe even the 42.6s or 5s. As Jensen coming across the first sector line, is he up? He is half a tenth up, but he needs to be about 2 tenths, just over 2 tenths up to currently beat Giron, as Artem is coming across the first sector line, a tenth and a half up. Wow. Okay, so Artem definitely up there. See, can he forget about Artem now as well? As round turn 10 and turn 11, Jensen goes. Does it quite nicely. I imagine 5th or 6th gear here. Does it 6th? I thought so. Riding the curb this time a lot more. He is fully sending it now. Second sector line is right here. What is it going to be? He's going to be 2 tenths up. He needs like 100th in the last sector to be able to take provisional pole from Giron, but of course Giron is on a lap. He's down 16 thousandths right now. Artem, we didn't see his sector time, so that's a bit annoying. Jensen, is a little bit of a drift. Zanetti goes P4, but what is it going to be for Jensen? Is it pole? He takes it 42.269. Question is, could Artem take it? Giron spun in his lap. Artem can potentially get in front of Giron here. Maybe even pole. He improves 2.5 tenths. Will stay P3. Demangel has spun in his lap. Sniper not on a lap. Enzo didn't set a proper lap time. And he's P14. Liam doesn't. Tam Tam on a lap. Boompage. Mikael Sorensen's invalidated. So really, only driver to currently watch is Boompage. Coming around the last 2 corners, Ken has left the session. That is not good. Boompage, around the last corner now, needs like a 3.5 tenth improvement to gain any positions. Will it be? No. He will improve 2 tenths, but will be staying in P9. A Sniper is on a lap. The Mangle is on a lap. And Tam Tam. Tam Tam. 3 tenths up nearly. Could actually beat Boompage for P9. And he does not. He falls short by a few hundredths. And just like that, that is qualifying over. Ken has left, so give me a quick second and I'm going to invite him back and hopefully, he can join back before the race starts. He doesn't show online for me though, so unless he's just all of a sudden disappeared offline, I don't know what's happened. As that is qualifying over, it is Giron on... Wait, no. Why am I saying Giron on pole? It is Jensen on pole position, with Giron 27 thousandths behind in P2 in his last race this season for Ero, so definitely wanting to do well there. R10 F2 driver is up there yet again, P3 in Spa, and he has Shizu Zanetti behind him in P4. We then have Seb Demangle in P5 in rotation, reserving in Alpine for the absent Aurelian in P6. You then have Sniper, Mikael Sorensen, Boom Pigeon, Tam Tam wrapping up the top 10. And then you have Liam, Pangri, Vespa, Enzo, Snooken, Julian Jansen, and Ken rounding up P11 down to P17. Now the question is it dry or is it rain? I think it is dry. But I guess we will see. And yeah, it is dry. So that's good to see that it is dry. As, I mean, it would maybe be cool for wet. I think this is actually the first GP this weekend in PlayStation which hasn't saw any rain, so that's interesting. Sorry for the noise in the background if you can hear anything, as someone has readied up, so we'll be underway in about 25 seconds. As Jensen's saying, good luck lads. Artem, Jerome and Jensen are having a little talk in the chat about wings, but none of them said what wings are running. Anyway, 5 red lights at Spa and F1. It is lights out and away we go. Who gets the better start? Jerome's had a good start, so has Jensen. They're going to go side. Jerome is still sort of there, but it's chaos behind. That's a Demangle. Off the track, that is rotation up into P4. As I'm looking behind to see if there's any side-by-sides. There's a side-by-side between Tam Tam and Enzo. Tam Tam runs Enzo wide. Enzo gets the bit of the straight line speed, and now it's just going to be brutal chaos. They're nearly gone 3 wide. As Tam Tam has quite a lot of wings. Tam Tam Enzo side-by-side now through turn 5, 6 and 7. Tam Tam runs a bit wide. Enzo gets up into P10. As Tam Tam has spun, there's a lot of chaos ahead. That's someone wide. That's Mikael Sorensen, but he's getting the move on Pangri, and he's up into P6. Left himself compromised. Now Sniper is going to take advantage of that, and we'll try send it on Pangri. He's going to get past Pangri even before the corner, actually. As top 3 has stayed the same. Artem, Jeroen and Jensen all staying in the positions. Rotation is up 2. Zanetti's down 1. Mikael is up 2. Sniper is still in P7. Pangri from P12 to P8. Very nice from him. Demangle down 4. Enzo up 4. Boompage down 2. Julian up 4. Liam down 2. Snooken up 1. Ken as a ghost up 2. And then Vespa down 3. Tam Tam down 7 after spinning. His Sniper looked a bit close to Mikael there when it came to the time gaps. I'm looking to see any moves happening on the grid. Potentially Liam on Julian Jansen. He is very close. He does not decide to send it. As is there any moves happening up the field? Ken has joined back. Vespa is in the pit lane. Jeroen maybe looking for a move. We'll turn on the ERS to see currently who is saving, who is using. Mikael's actually using to defend off Sniper. That's just Sniper's wings. Sniper wasn't even using ERS, I believe. As Mikael has a little moment there, but no spinning, which is good to see. I'm looking to see if anyone's going to spin it here, because a few drivers spun it at that corner yesterday at turn 7 in F2. So I was just interested to see if anyone was maybe going to spin again. There's a gap forming between the top 3 to Rotation and P4. Nearly a second gap. Rotation is now using a bit of his ERS, I should say, as he didn't use much in the first lap. R10 is keeping up with these two drivers in front. How is the man's F2 still? I don't know. As I'm looking at the timestamps, Pangui, Demangle, Enzo potentially, but doesn't look like they're closing in on each other. So we'll continue riding on board with R10. Oh, his arm goes a bit deep there and nearly goes into the back of Jerome. Now compromised himself a little bit. Rotation. Oh, Rotation spinned in the wall! It's not a DNF, but it's a front wing loss. And we saw that as well. And he drops from P4 down to P14. And now push to try get that gap on Zanetti. Zanetti will not be getting DRS. Mikael will not be getting DRS either on Zanetti. So Sniper using now to try get past. Wow, Sniper has got a rocket ship in that Mercedes. He's so easily passed before that corner. Wow. Liam and Julian Jansen. Liam also put a rocket ship in his car. And he's passed Julian on the straight. Up into the point paying positions now as well, which we have to note for Liam. As, yeah, the top 3 is... I mean, they're not pulling away. They're maybe pulling, if they can, a 10th a lap to Zanetti behind. But I wouldn't say they're overly extending the gap to Zanetti, as R10, I imagine, will use here to make sure Zanetti doesn't catch up. No, he isn't, because his wings are so low he don't need to use. R10's wings are on something else, as his pace on a straight. Unbelievable. Doesn't even use ERS, and he nearly gains on Zanetti, who is using ERS. As R10 is right behind Jerome now. Enzo and Demangle. Oh, Enzo off the track. Demangle might send it here as well into turn 1. Decides not to, thinks better of it. Allowing Liam to slightly catch up. As Demangle will definitely look for a move here for PA. Are they using the ERS? Enzo's also using the ERS, but Demangle has the advantage of DRS. Enzo's sticking with him though. I imagine he'll send it here, will he? Oh, Demangle's going to lock up. That's what's going to happen. Oh, and it's a bit of an unsafe rejoin. And that's fine. I don't think there would be any penalty for that. I mean, he's lost time, so I don't think that should really be reported. As that is Julian Jansen. Ero Rouge has binned it. No damage though, but it's just a spin up Ero Rouge. But it does drop him down to P16 where he started in this race. Zanetti is in the DRS range of R10, but might not get it. Because of course we know R10 is a rocket ship in the straight line. And Zanetti's on 13%. R10, 62. Yeah. Clear to see that Zanetti's had to use his full tank to try keep up and keep in the DRS. And he's not even going to get it. R10's used there her last second. And he's not gave Zanetti any DRS. While Sniper is saving his DRS. Might try go for it now. Sees Zanetti blinking and starts using his ERS. Sniper really wants to make sure he can get DRS here off of Zanetti. He doesn't have any ERS now. Yeah, he uses a bit here to make sure he will get the DRS. Zanetti will not, so Zanetti going to have to handle pressure from the drivers behind now, as he is falling behind relatively. He's dropping back very, very fast when compared to the front three drivers, as Jerome is right up the back end, the gearbox of Jensen. Will we see this be the top three for the rest of the race is the question. Personally, I think we might see a spin from one of the three, but apart from that, I can see this top three staying the same. As Aurelian is here. Sorry, Aurelian, I wasn't like trying to be mean or anything at that point. FVR Stefano in here, Giron for the win. Giron going for the last race, of course, in the Ero, this season at least. We need to see top three at some point. Okay, Wodge. Okay. You can see top three for the rest of the race now. Goated pace from Zane, the legend, to get back into the DRS, says Tom, who is also in Challengers, should we say as well. That's R10. Using. Might send it on Giron into the last corner. He'll think better of it. As Artem is using his ARS, might look for a move on the straight as Boompage gets a 3-second time penalty at the back of the grid. A 1.9 second gap to Zanetti. Now 2 seconds. Zanetti, you having no ARS, Sniper having more than half a tank of ARS. Will we see him try get a move done on the straight? He is using, I think he is. The rocket ship has activated ERS, DRS and slipstream. And is it going to be a move done before the corner? Yes, it will be. Sniper is up into P4 as Zanetti now drops back down into P5. As rotation down in P14, so it's the fastest lap of 46.4 on the medium tyres. As go back up to the front three, now a 2.4 second gap to Sniper in P4. As Liam now picks up a 3-second time penalty in P10, that will promote Ken into the points, as Liam is doing quite nicely right now. Actually, I'm sorry, we haven't checked the tyres. Liam and Ken are on the mediums, everyone else is on the hards. Okay, thank goodness that I did check the tyres now, because imagine if like Artem was on the mediums, because I didn't check that. Oh, nice helicopter view. Little view of a Williams if anyone wants a photo. Hopefully we don't see a straight line here. Oh, continue giving us this. This is beautiful. As we're right up. Okay, never mind. Spoke too soon. Going back on with Jerome nearly in the back end of Jensen there. As, yeah, the front three are really just saving their ERS. Artem's actually used a bit more. As Jerome's on 60%, Jensen also on 60%. Still a 2.4 second gap to Sniper. Zanetti struggling to stay in the DRS range of Sniper. Enzo gets past Pangri into turn 5. What just happened? Rotation left, and now apparently rotation is P1. What on earth has just happened? What? Giron penalty! Giron gets a 3-second. Oh, big. So that means Sniper could be on for a podium. As there's rotations car going back down. So Sniper is, I mean, it's nearly a 3-second gap between Giron and Sniper. It's actually like literally a 3-second gap between them. So Jerome now will need to push because of this 3-second time penalty. As, yeah, Jerome's using a bit of ERS now. Might look for a move on Jensen, actually. Use a little ERS, yeah. Jensen using a bit. Jerome's using a lot, though, I think. Jerome might be looking for a good run-up or Rouge and then a move on the straight. Yeah, I'm right. Jerome's wanting the move done now. Jensen is using... Oh, Jerome stops using. Maybe the slipstream can get him a send worthy move? No, but he will be up on his PB in the first sector. R10 struggling to hold on to the second gap. As I'm trying to see if there's any other fights in the background. Liam is sticking in P10. Right up the Mangle. Gets a really good exit compared to Demangle, who has a really bad exit. And Liam's going to send it on the inside in turn 8. And he will get the move done for P9. So a nice move from Liam there. Using the medium tires to his advantage. The F2 driver is up into P9. A very nice move from him. Using Demangle's compromised line through turn 7 to his advantage. As Enzo gets a time penalty now, sitting in P7, that will drop him down to P8 currently. So maybe a little reason to push as well more. As Artem picking up the pace. Now a 3.2 second gap to Sniper behind, so definitely the top 3 is the clear favourites right now, I guess you could say. One of these 3 to win the race seems like the most reasonable option. I'm not going to make a prediction, but it would be nice to see Jerome winning in his last race this season, as that is Vespa spun, and he will let Bimpage past, who might actually be going for fast lap. But Jerome wants the move now. He's waited until he's got the gap, and Jerome is fully using. He's up into the lead of the race. His last race this season, and he wants to win. He wants to become the 4th race winner this season, and he will do anything for it. And just like that, he's up into the lead of the race. Of course, the 3-second will demote him back down to P3, but we don't talk about that right now. Ken gets past the Mangle, as the Mangle looking to try get a move done. A little bit of contact with Ken. Ken actually is forced a bit wide. They're going to go side by side. The Mangle looks for the switchback. He nearly gets it. Is he going to use? No, he will not. Ken will use now, show that he's flashing to the Mangle. So we're going to go back up to the front. Jensen didn't get DRS. Whoa. Jean says the fastest lap of the race. He's fully used his ERS now. Interesting tactics there. As Jensen is going to get DRS. Artem's also had to fully use his battery now. A 4.2 second gap to Sniper behind now. Is Jensen going to use? No, Jensen's just going to keep it sure right now, because I mean he is still technically P1 in this race. As Ken looked awfully close to Liam there. Of course these two in a party, I imagine, so you know, if they're fights, if they do fight, it will be friendly fights. Will definitely not be any forcing another driver off the track or anything like that. he's got a good run potentially on him. As I'm looking elsewhere, the Mangle is behind these two drivers right now as well. Mikael Sorensen potential. Oh, Liam spinned it! No! Liam has spun at turn 13 on the left-hander. Like that, Liam is down to P12, actually P13 because of his penalty. As any other close fights, Mikael. Oh, Tam spun, safety car. Oh my days, that is perfect timing for everyone. Tam, I'm sorry, but you could not have timed that perfect. You could have. I can't speak English. As Ken, Pangui, and Snooken all managed to get into the pit lane, Snooken going slow into the pits because, of course, Pangui is in the pit lane, so a little double stack for Haas. Won't affect positions for Snooken, I think. Actually, it should be fine when it comes to the pits. He gets held up a little bit, but he should be fine. Wait, why did they take so long there? I don't know. Bit confusing, but they will be on the new tyres, and the top 9 will definitely come in as well. Jerome, Jensen, Artem, Sniper, Zanetti, Mikael and Enzo, and also Demangle all will come in for the medium tyres to go to the end of the race. Liam will have to come in for the hards, I imagine. He could potentially... No, I'm not going to say gamble softs, because you would have to do the ultimate tyre saving to be able to make it to the end on softs if you were to pit now. So, I mean, I personally wouldn't suggest doing that. Delta is a bit weird right now, but we'll go back up to Jerome, who will be pitting, probably. I mean, I would be very surprised if they decided not to pit. Interesting though that we were halfway through the race, seeing our first DNF. I thought we would have maybe saw a DNF earlier, to be honest, but very nice racing from everyone, and we've only just saw one now, halfway through the race. Ron is in the pit lane. We'll watch everyone else come in. Yes. Sniper going a bit slower because, of course, does not want to get held up by Jensen. He is in the pit lane though. So is Zanetti. So wow, they're all so close to one another. Holy, brake slower, people. Don't send it on someone in the pit lane. We could have definitely saw contact there. Sniper's being held up a bit. Sniper will be delayed here. I won't be surprised if Zanetti jumps Sniper in the pit lane here. Does he? No, he does not. Mikael Sorensen gets ahead of Zanetti. I think Zanetti mistimed the pit stop entry. And just like that, Mikael Sorensen overtakes Zanetti in the pit lane. Wow, interesting. As like I said, everyone is in the pit lane. Pangui, of course, managed to time that pit stop quite nice when it came to when the safety car came out. Up into P8 because of that. Liam's in the pits on hards. He's came out P10. Ken is in the pit lane on the medium tyres. I just realised Ken was on the mediums and then has done a lap on the hards and is now boxed to go onto the mediums again. Ken is big brain because he would have been P10 or P9 but decided to pit again so that he could be on the mediums so he doesn't have a disadvantage. Very nice strategy thinking from Ken there. As I don't know when we're going to be back underway, but I imagine it will be. Will it be this lap? I don't think it will be. Bimpage is a bit far back. Yeah, not in this lap. Will definitely be next lap. So that means we will have 10 laps of racing as Liam is in the pit lane. This will be for the medium tyres now, I presume. As we are on lap 13. As we're going to have 9 laps of racing. Safety car might be very late here potentially. All the drivers are warming up their tyres. Sometimes we know F1, it might be late. Might be very late. Sure, and I would back up just in case. It might be called now, I'm not joking. It's not. Oh, we're doing another lap. Oh well. 8 laps of racing. It will be. Ah, what's happened? Armin sniper switched. I think Armin might have had a mistake. There was a switch at the back as well. What happened? So, will be the safety car in this lap. Not gonna lie, a driver could have maybe gambled softs, but nobody has. So we're gonna see 8 laps of racing. Drone is about to get front wing damage from from going into the safety car, and that would be not a great way to end your last race in Ero this season. As the safety car is in this lap. So Jerome definitely backing up the pack. Wow, he's backing up so much. Look at this. You just see the whole entire grid just doing a little weave. Safety car. Wow, safety car's near the end, so Jerome could go fast anytime now. Wow, he has proper backed them up. He's away now. Wow, that is a weird time to go. And he's caught Jensen, you know. 8 tenths. Artem is right behind him, but be careful, this corner, slip and slide sometimes for a few drivers. And I wouldn't be surprised if we were to see a few drivers maybe have a little bottle. As anyway, we're back underway and Giron has got a very nice 9/10 gap to Jensen off of that restart. As Enzo and Zanetti are fighting, Zanetti is forced off the track and Enzo, oh, nearly making contact. Enzo and Zanetti go side by side. They've spun up over. How's Enzo not DNF'd there? Zanetti's DNF'd on the left side of the track. That is mayhem. Wow, 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 wow. I did not know what they were doing there. That's a retire on track from Enzo. That's just a give up kind of sign. Demangle is past Pangri for P6. Oh my days. I'm a 3-second time penalty. Oh wow, okay. So that's going to be another argument in the Ero F1 chat. Very, very, very nice to see. I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't worry. Snuck in, P9, little time penalty for him. Just realised that has promoted Snookin into the points. Well, you know what? We're not going to look at the penalties. I was watching PCF1 earlier, and Wodge, I know you're watching this, and I saw you say you don't check the time penalties because you get the element of surprise at the end of the race. So you know what? That's what we're going to do. We're not going to check the time penalties, and we'll see. But I think I've definitely saw Otto's name snuck in pop up twice, so he's got 6 seconds at least, and I know that for a fact. As Giron sets the fastest lap of the race, a 44.7. Using his whole entire battery to get a second gap on Giron. Giron using his ERS to get a gap on Jensen. Ah, I keep on saying the wrong stuff constantly. Yes, helicopter view, stick with it please. Oh, that could have been another warning for Giron. Round turn 8 he goes. Look at this beautiful view. Round the tree. Turn 9. Oh, it's beautiful. Keep us on this view, please, I beg. Oh, man, I keep on jinxing it. Demango gets a 3-second time penalty in P6. That's going to help Pangri and Ken get promoted up a few positions right now. Artem is going to fall back probably to P5. So as it stands, Sniper is P3. Could challenge for P2 potentially if he can catch up a little bit because of course Jerome's penalty. As DRS has been enabled and Jensen is within the second gap. Drone pushed all of his DRS in the first 2 laps and has failed to keep Jensen out of the gap, but Jensen has managed to get Arm away. As Enzo and Zanetti have both left the session after their crash. As Julian Jansen gets a time penalty, another one, P10. Aurelian saying he's staying. Oh, that's Boom Pigeon Liam. I think there was contact. We couldn't see because the camera angles in this game are the worst thing ever. But believe that was contact between Boom Pigeon and Liam. Liam's round. Liam. Whoa! Nice save, Liam. Watch telling me to commentate. Watch I'm commentating. You see. Liam. I dare you. Learn a bit from your fellow commentator friend Yeast. And do a nice little send. Oh, never mind, you've got damage. Forget about it. Jensen is not using and is keeping up with Jerome with the use of DRS, of course. Big news there, I don't know if you've heard. Aurelian is staying in Ero. He said, but, little twist, Aurelian is now Williams, and Tam Tam is now Alpine, because pretty much Aurelian has made challengers for PlayStation. He is a full-time driver. He isn't reserved. Jensen also made it to challengers, but is one of the last reserves. So Jensen might not race in challengers, which is sad to see. But Aurelian is a full-time driver in the challengers, and he is in the Williams for the challengers. And Antonio Visa, or Tam Tam, got asked from Wodge if he would be open to switching to the Alpine so that Aurelian can race in the Williams, because as I said, Aurelian said he was going to leave. But Tam Tam says, yes, I will switch. Aurelian has saw it, and Aurelian is now staying. So a championship fight between Jensen and Aurelian is still going to happen in Euro, but now it will be between the Williams and Mercedes. Constructors wise though, this opens up Mercedes to take the constructors now, because it was Aurelian and Enzo against Sniper and Jensen, really. That was the main fight for the constructors. Nobody was really anywhere close to them. But now Aurelian switching teams and it now being Enzo and Visa, I think that definitely opens the gap for Jensen and Sniper to try take constructors. Jensen could maybe challenge for drivers and constructors this season, potentially in his first season in Euro. We're going to have to wait and see. Jerome went a bit deep there. Of course, we look at the time penalty. No, we're not looking at time penalties. I mean, we're looking at the gaps. Jerome has got the 3-second gap to Sniper. So, Jerome will be staying on the podium. Will be P2 currently. But then R10 might fall down to P5. Mikael Sorensen is very, very close to that gap, to that 3-second gap to R10. So there's a possibility we might end with a Jensen, Jerome, Sniper, Mikael, and R10 top 5. That is how we could end. But I don't know, I haven't saw the time penalties. Who knows, the Mangle or R10 or Jerome could have got another 3 second and we might have not known about it. As, I mean, the two only real close drivers right now are Jerome and Jensen, and Sniper and Mikael, and in this little train of Ken, Pangui, Otto, and Julian. Actually, this is quite a nice train, so I think we'll ride on board with it. Ken and Pangui, of course, not having penalties. Both of them will probably get P6 and P7, getting the position on the Mangle because of his penalty. Snookin is out of the DRS range from Pangui, so now it's really just Pangui v Ken and Otto v Julian. Pangui is faking a move by looks of things. He will not send it on Ken yet. Oh, Ken has a snap. It's a nice save though. Boompage gets a 3 seconds. So does Snookin. It's going to go back up to the front fight, see if there's anything happening. Sniper and Mikkel staying roughly the same gap. Jensen. I don't think Jensen is going to overtake Giron. I think he will just stay behind because, I mean, he doesn't need to push, really. I mean, I could be saying that, and he might be planning on the last lap overtake. But we will see. That is Boompage spun. Down in P11. Was that Liam spinning? Rotation? No, rotation left, because his internet goes kaboom. But that was Boompage spinning, so now quite a clear gap between the likes of him and Julian and Snookin. Potentially open up Snookin's chance of scoring more points in F1 from being an F2 driver. Oh my days. Okay, I think we're going to see a move between Jensen and Giron. That is Boompage spun again. Vespa gets past him. But it is a move for the lead. Jensen is up into the lead of the race. This will, of course, currently secure him P1. Second last lap gets the move done. Oh, Artem is pushing. There is a chance Artem can keep the podium here. Wow, this gap is going to be the most interesting thing this whole race. This 3 second gap. Barely a 3 second gap. Literally tenths of difference from Sniper being on the podium and Artem being on the podium. Well, we're going to have to keep him riding on board. As we're going to go with Jensen. Jensen using ERS, trying to pull away from Giron. Of course, Giron using all of his ERS in the first 2 laps after the restart. In lap 14 and 15, left himself heavily compromised for the rest of this race. Oh, Jensen's had a massive moment. Second last corner. It's a nice save though. But whoa, that was close for Jensen as we enter the last lap of this race. As I think we might see a move between Sniper and Mikkel. And the thing is, Artem has got the gap to 3.5 now. So Artem could probably have a guaranteed podium here this weekend as an F2 driver. But P4 is still up for grabs between Sniper and Mikkel. Mikkel, are we going to see a send? We are round the outside. Is he going to get the move done? Sniper is going to look for the switchback. He's going to look for a double switchback potentially. Get the better exit. Mikkel defends it. Mikkel is ahead. He goes deep. Sniper might try to sneak up the inside. He's not going to be able to. And like that, Mikkel is up into P4. Sniper's demoted into P5. As that is Vespa spun down in P11. We're going to continue riding on board with these two. I think Mikkel will have this position secure. But the one driver we have to watch is Jensen, having another very nice race. I wouldn't say dominant because, you know, Giron and Artem have hanged on. But it has been a very good race for Jensen and will now, of course, extend the gap to Aurelian for the championship lead as Aurelian is absent today. But here comes Jensen round the last corner, and it's going to be Jensen winning in Spa. It will then be Giron in his last Ero race this season. Whoa, wait, Giron had 6 seconds! Forget it! Forget the penalties! Oh my days, I told you the penalties were going to be a surprise. Oh, I don't know what to think right now. I thought Giron had 3, that's why I was pushing so much. Giron had 6. Giron isn't going to be P2. R10 is going to get P2. And Mikael Sorensen will be on the podium in P3. It's then Jerome in P4. Sniper just missing out and gets P5. Ken is going to be in the points for the first time in a while in P6. It's then Demango P7, Pangri P8, Julian Janssen P9, Snook in P10. He gets more points than F1. It's then Vespa in P11, Rotation in P12. His internet went kaboom, so he hasn't been racing. Boompage P13, and then Liam in P14. I think trying to go for a fastest lap. As Liam comes round the last corner, maybe have a little fastest lap. Take it from someone. I don't know if he did. We'll see. Apparently, Artem was running 0-0. As, like I said, Jensen takes the win, and it's going to be Artem in P2, F2 driver in P2 and F1. How is the man still not promoted? I don't know. But a very nice result. Jeroen keeps the fastest lap. Or did Liam beat it? Liam was 3 tenths off. So Jensen takes 26 points this weekend. A good race from him. Artem will get a very nice result. A P2, 18 points. Very nice from him. Mikael Sorensen from P8 to P3. A good race from him. Jeroen, unfortunately, with 6 seconds of penalties. I never saw the other 3 seconds, and I always presumed he was on 3 seconds, but he was not. So it's going to be Jeroen in P4, it's then Sniper P5. Ken, what a drive. P17 to P6, not getting penalties, which has helped him get that P6. You then have Demangle P7, Pangui P8, Julian Janssen P9, and Snookin in P10. And then the rest of the grid, you have Vespa in P11, Rotation in P12, Boompage P13, Liam 14, and then you have the 3 DNF drivers. You have Enzo in P15, Zanetti in P16, and Tam Tam in P17. I feel like doing interviews. Well, I mean, always do interviews. So let me get these people inside of the party. I might also I feel like interviewing Jerome because it is his last race, and I feel like it would only just be right and nice to invite him into the commentator's booth. So let's do play together and get the correct drivers in. We have Artem, we have Jerome, we have Ayrton, and we have Jensen. Interviews, and then at Jensen, at Artem, at Mikael. There we go. Let's see if any of them will join us. Hopefully we will see someone. Oh, I gotta go shower now. Okay, so it looks like we... I not invite Jensen? I did, didn't I? Yeah, I did. As here he is, the race winner. Hello, Jensen. How are you?
Hello.
So let's just start off taking poll. Happy lap.
Uh, Obviously could have been better. I mean, a point two ain't the best, but yeah, the final sector was a little bit poor, so
Hmm.
kind of
And
lucky
then,
to sneak the pole in just about.
hmm. And then, of course, the race. Of course, you're doing very well up to the safety car restart, and then of course everyone picked on mediums, and then you were comfortably sitting in P2 behind Jean, as he did have the penalties. And then you overtake him on the second last lap because, of course, you had a quite nice run up Eau Rouge. Kind of overall, how do you think your race went as you extend the lead to AXA?
I think it went very well. Like the pace I had was very nice. Like it was a comfortable car to drive. In the first stint, I was like happily on high energy, but it was when Jerome like he started like he was like right behind me and started like really pushing.
Mm.
So I just like let him go. I couldn't defend that, and then the safety car comes out. So that was very lucky for him, but um, he got the restart. I just about kept in DRS saved behind him,
Mm.
used if I was about to drop out. I knew he was burning every single time because he was constantly derating. And then with like 2 laps to go, I went for the move and like knew I have enough energy on the final lap to hold him off.
Yeah, you definitely did have enough. Of course, you had a good run up Eau Rouge to be able to catch him. Of course, he was the safety car restart. He used like his whole entire battery on those first 2 laps to try pull it out of the DRS.
Yeah,
And
I was forced to use my two like to use my whole entire battery for the first 2 laps as well because I he got the restart like really
yeah,
good. So
yeah, he did.
yeah.
He did back up the grid quite a bit. Do you think it was maybe a bit unsafe, or was it just tactical? Do you think?
It's only unsafe as like if it's like really really slow, but it was like slow, but that's alright.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't like massive shifts in speed. It was just constant speed, so it's fine. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't think anyone else is going to be joining us, as Artem has said he can't join, and I've had no response from Mikel.
Might as well invite Jerome, maybe
I have.
if he's. Aye.
Yeah, I
Oh
invited
well.
Sharon,
Okay.
but he is not joining either. So for that, that is today's race over. This week's race in Spa over. You can join us the same time next week for PlayStation F1. We are going to Singapore, so definitely tune in for that race. A night race, maybe rain, because Singapore likes to rain sometimes. As I said, tune in same time Sunday, 6 p.m. GMT for that. But apart from that, anything you want to say?
No, that's all from me.
Alright, so that has been all from today. We hope you all enjoyed. Tune in next week for Singapore, but apart from that,